I want you to think about the last time you fell off your diet, and I want you to be honest with yourself for a second. Did you actually not know what you were doing wrong, or did you know and do it anyway? Because I'd argue most people who struggle to get lean don't have an information problem, they have an honesty problem. And unfortunately, the fitness industry has made it very easy to avoid being honest with yourself by telling you exactly what you want to hear. Today, I'm going to tell you what you don't. Getting lean is simple. Not easy, but genuinely frustratingly simple. A calorie deficit, 3 to 4 solid training sessions a week, consistent sleep, and daily movement. Done long enough to actually work. And the problem is, you already knew that, and everyone else does. And yet you're here watching another video about it, which tells me the problem isn't the information, so what actually is it? The fitness industry figured out a long time ago that simple doesn't sell, sacrifice doesn't sell, so instead they sold you flexibility. Eat out and stay on track, drink on the weekends, enjoy balance. Buy this program and lose a stone in 12 weeks without overhauling your life. And look, part of you probably knew it sounded too good to be true, but you bought in anyway because the alternative, actually giving things up, wasn't what you wanted to hear. So motivation was high for a few weeks, the scale moved a little, and then the cravings came in, and that's where it quietly fell apart. Because it never starts with a blowout, it starts with something you barely notice, an extra bit of sauce on your meal, a meal at a restaurant you try to fit into your macros but slightly underestimate, a cardio session you skip because you've had a long day out and it's all about balance, right? Each one feels completely reasonable in the moment, but here's what those reasonable decisions actually cost you. The average Five Guys meal contains 2,700 calories. Have that once a week and you're adding the equivalent of 385 calories per day to your diet. Twice a week, double that. That's not even a minor slip. That's potentially eliminating your deficit entirely, maybe even putting you in a surplus. And before you reach for the healthy option, that salad right there, you'd assume it's under 400 calories. Realistically, it's likely closer to 700. The margins are tighter than you think, and they compound faster than you realize. This isn't bad luck, it's the predictable result of a plan that was never being followed properly in the first place. So the plan didn't fail. You deviated from the plan, decided that the flexibility counted as following it, and then concluded it didn't work. And I don't say that to be harsh. I say it because it's the exact cycle that keeps people stuck for years, trying the same approach, adding in the same flexibility too early, and then getting the same underwhelming results and assuming the method is the problem. The clients I work with who make the most progress aren't special. They're busy people, professionals, parents who genuinely don't have hours to spare. But what they do have is an honest relationship with themselves and the plan. They follow it to the letter, and because of that, it works. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. Managing flexibility within a diet is a skill, and you can't skip it. Before you know your maintenance calories intuitively, before you understand how to read a menu and make a genuinely informed decision, before you've built the habits that make this automatic, adding flexibility is just adding margin for error that you don't yet know how to control. The clients I work with earn flexibility over time. When they eat out, there are clear guidelines in place, and the expectation is set clearly. It will slow your progress. Not because they've done something wrong, but because that's what happens when you introduce uncertain variables. That's not a punishment, it's just how the numbers work. Trying to have that flexibility on week 1 because you've seen what the plan actually does when followed properly, that's when you end up frustrated, convinced that getting lean just doesn't work for you, when really you never gave it the chance to. So here's the uncomfortable version of it's simple. At the start, you have to meal prep. You have to track your body weight. You have to say no to meals out for a period of time. You cut out alcohol, you get your steps in, even when you don't feel like it. Not forever, but for long enough to actually see what happens when the plan is followed without deviation. That's it, that's the secret. There isn't one. It doesn't mean eating chicken and rice every day. You can have food you enjoy, but it has to be planned and accounted for, not improvised when you feel like you deserve a break. The best plan is the one you can follow without needing to escape from it. If you're constantly craving a cheat meal, the plan isn't the right one, but that's a separate conversation. So here's the straightforward version of what I'm telling you. Get a plan, follow it exactly for 8 to 12 weeks. Not mostly, but exactly. See what happens, and then and only then, once you understand your body, once you've learned to track accurately and manage the impulses that derailed you before, you can start to introduce flexibility. Not as a reward, but as a skill that you've built over time. But you have to earn it first. Unfortunately, getting lean really is this simple. The hardest part was never figuring out what to do. It's being honest enough with yourself to actually do it. If this landed and you want the exact framework I use with my clients, the step-by-step process that removes the guesswork, I've linked my free 8-day course in the description. It covers everything you need to know to get lean in around 12 weeks time. Leave a like if you found this video useful, subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you in the next one.